disk. And now, just to be safe, we try it on my Windows machine. So go to this PC, downloads, and stream test folder.
Uh-oh.
-48. What is -48? So how do I find out these errors? Like, in the case of -50, I knew that by heart. That is the parameter error. That means I wrote something stupid. So I knew one of my input values had to be wrong. That's why I got the idea. Well, I'm giving it a file name and a folder path. So I guess the folder path must be wrong, because at that point that was all. Like here. Oh, we should actually call that folder at path. Okay. So let's see, -48, here is 45, 48, duplicate file name. Oh, did it actually create it after all? Stream test folder. There is one. Okay. Okay, maybe I clicked twice or something. Okay, so I know that this sometimes, yeah, it created the folder. Woo! Ha! Okay, I guess I double-clicked or something. I don't know. But so our second external command works as well. I didn't expect to spend this much time creating custom native code plugins to work around missing things in HyperCard. Okay. So now let's open this with ResEdit. With ResEdit. You can tell that my so I have my streams, my microphone set up so that I can hear myself in my headphones. So that I can hear when I'm starting talking and I'm still muted and things like that. The problem is, after a while, the microphone gets a delay. So the longer it's running, the more basically it takes a while for me to hear my own words back. Oh, thanks for the host, Tony. And so, yeah, when I hear myself echoing back immediately, it just feels like I'm, in an echoey room. But right now, it's trailing farther and farther back, and it's confusing me. And that in turn means that I sound basically, I speak like I've had a stroke, basically. At some points, it just stumble over my tongue because someone is constantly talking at me while I'm talking, Anyway, so cheap version control is open. X command, X new folder. Put that in here. Good. Now we save. Now we can open our version control. So what do we do for a commit? Well, first thing what we do is we do the whole compression thing. This will probably get a little annoying. We shall see, because I only have the demo of Stuffit. And somehow I remembered that Stuffit came with an external command for HyperCard, with another native code plugin to compress a file. But I couldn't find it anywhere. I mean, I can't even find my Stuffit serial number, so... But anyway, so what we're doing is just we're calling drop stuff directly and making it open the file, the path, yes. And so now put dot sit after the path. So the thing is, we can't really tell drop stuff where to compress its file to. So this is a bit ugly. I think we will need a delete file external as well. Put copy. No, now just copy that file, I guess. So I think, oh, did I install res copy? Copy. Yes, good. So that's another secret of the HyperCard programmer. There is a native code plugin that is called res copy, and it shows this handy window that basically shows you all resources in your current stack and lets you open another stack and copy stuff over, and so you can actually see all the resources you have. For example, the copy file external, because I wasn't quite sure what that was called anymore. And the nice thing is you can actually edit the stack that you have currently open with that, because this native code window, different from ResEdit, this runs inside HyperCard. So it can access all the files HyperCard has open already, so there's no conflict. And you can even open all HyperCard stacks. So get the developer stack and check again. What did you want? A delete file. Well, there is a delete file too. I guess that's it, yeah. Okay, I guess let's copy that over. And now, and so what I've done is I copied this res copy external command into HyperCard's home stack. And so now it's available in every stack I open. I can just type res copy into the message box, hit return, and edit my resources. So that's one of the popular tricks. I even used to have let me just see, delete file 2, here it is. I even used to have a handler set up in my home stack way back when that was just on RC res copy end RC. So I could just type RC into the message box and it would be even faster. Okay. Wait, what? delete file 2. It's weird. How many? So delete file 2 is apparently not what we want. I might have to write that as well. Oh, here. There is supposed to be a delete file xfcn. Where is that?
Uh-oh.
Where's copy? Because I don't want to show a file picker. So the question is that another missing? X command xfcn. Delete file. Okay. Thank goodness. So now we should probably needs compression, put into needs compression. So basically what I'm doing here is I remember for which file I called drop stuff, and so now I can say copy file the path to not to comma and now I need to create a destination path, which is right, we need the field destination path. Put card field destination path. By the way, if you have any questions, feel free to ask, okay? You're not breaking my concentration more than it's already broken by just being my brain. Or, you know, if you want me to show you something that's more interesting or whatever. Or if you just want a short explanation what the hell I'm doing here. I guess I could do that. So the idea is I can pick a folder here. It will show me all the files. I can click commit, and it will make a copy of these files in that folder. And the assumption is that this folder is somewhere on the Windows PC, so it cannot store Mac-specific data like resource forks. And so what I'm going to do as my first step is I'm going to compress any files that I know that have valuable resources in them, so that so it will copy all the text files here. Then the stack will get compressed with stuffit, and then the stuffed version will be copied over, and then I will delete the stuffed version that it created here next to the file, and then we'll copy this text file. For the project, it will do the same, compress it, and so I'll have a folder automatically that contains all of this, and then I will add a little text file to it with my commit message. And what I can then do is I can start the Windows terminal, or rather git bash is what I'm going to be using here, and run a script in there on this folder that will then check that into Git. That's kind of the final idea of what I'm doing. And so I will have all these old files that I created in the emulator outside of the emulator, so that if the emulator crashes and corrupts its hard disk file, I still have these changes. And I will have a history of these files with complete date and time that I can upload to GitHub, and so I'll have them backed up on a server and other people can look at them, even with the intermediate steps. That's kind of the idea. So copy file, the path to put config destination path into destination folder. Destination folder. Right. If last character of destination folder is not colon, then put colon after destination folder. That way this is normalized and I can just append the file name to it. And last item of the path. So the name should stay the same. So that's what copy file should do. Is that all we need for now? I think that should... Oh, right. And then that's why I got delete file. If needs compression, and if delete file destination path, put this into destination path. And then, no wait, delete file the path. I don't even need it again. Well, but it doesn't hurt. Okay, so all this does is detect, is it a special file? If yes, compress it and change the name of the file to copy to the compressed name. Then, no matter which kind of file it is, it will copy it over. And then, if it was a compressed file, it will delete the compressed file, the original compressed file that got copied over. That's basically only necessary because we don't have a proper native code plugin that will, where we can say, take this file and compress it at the final position. So drop stuff just compresses a file and leaves the compressed version next to it. At least that's how I've set it up here. So this should technically work. Oh, right, there's one more thing I need to do. And that is the destination folder is the parent folder. So what I want to do is, let's see, we want to build a date. So put the, let's see, message box, put the short date, no, put the long date, put the long time, what is the date? So the thing is, I want to get a date and time so that we can, sort by everything. But I also want to format it properly. So let's see. Let's go home. And I think, what is it? Should have the HyperTalk reference somewhere here. Here. I know there was date items. Convert. Date and time. So how do I get a date and time? Examples? To seconds and long date. To abbreviated time. Wait, there was date format? Oops, all caps. No.
Uh-oh.
Okay, there was no date format. How do I get a date and time then? Is it just... Well, I guess we can try it. Put the date and the time into date time. Convert date time to date items. Answer date time. Return. This should hopefully work. 2021, 12/15, 1955. Okay, that looks good.
202112.
Yes, yes, yes. You don't have to read it out to me. Okay. Oh, I should... Let's... Control panels. Date and time. 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we actually don't need more. I don't want to change the default of the... $56. Oh, I probably didn't do... Let's say the long time. The long time sounds much funnier than I remember. It was such a long, long time. What was it? A long, long time. Or whatever that was. Okay, let's see. Now, 56, 46. Yeah, that sounds right. Okay. And whatever that 4 is, probably...
Pay attention.
Sunday, Monday,
2021121519564646.
Tuesday, Wednesday. It's probably the weekday. Because if I'm not mistaken, yes, today is a Wednesday. Woden's Day. Okay. So we have this date items thing. And now we can build a proper file name from that. Put item 1 of date time. So we are going for an ISO date. I could have sworn there was a date format so that you could actually tell it what date you wanted, but I guess it just grabs that from the system, which we don't want this to change here. We want a nice sortable date. Item 2 of date time. Wish I could type. You didn't see what I almost typed there. Dash item 3 of date time. And I guess we do a T. And then item 4 of date time. Oh, and I don't really want to put a colon in there because that's the file path separator. Can we put a dot in there, or will Windows be unhappy? I guess we'll use an underscore. That should be safe. Four, 5, 6 into commit folder name. And it's actually too long. No. Come on. It actually has a maximum width. Okay, I guess. And T into commit folder name. Since we can't do line continuations in this simulator, put item 4 and so on. Datetime after commit folder name. Oh, right, and we want to put let's see, put what is the folder? The source folder. Card field path. Last item of card field path into commit folder name. And another underscore, I guess. Whoops. All right, so now we're generating a path that is the name of the original folder plus the date plus the time, which should be, you know, reasonably unique. As long as you don't do more than 2 commits per second, you should be okay. And now we put commit folder name and the required colon, I guess, so that we can append a file name into destination folder. And now we say X new folder. So that's the one we wrote today. Oh wait, we don't even need that yet. Destination folder, comma, commit folder name. Okay. And I guess to be paranoid, let's set a breakpoint and watch it do its thing. But wait, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that here on the disk first, locally. Whoops, what is this? Put item 1 of datetime and T. Oh, missing an ampersand. Okay. Now, again, we want to see the variable watcher so we can watch this do its thing. It's so nice to have that. Okay, paths list that has all our files. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Now, types list, number of files 8, destination folder, Destination folder ends in colon, so nothing changes. Put the date and the long time into date time. Convert date time to date items. Okay, that looks good. Put last item of card filled path and underscore into commit folder name. Oh, I haven't set the item delimiter yet. I haven't actually set that anywhere. Okay. Oh, and we have another problem. Okay, set item delimiter to colon, and then set it back to comma. I think colon actually exists, right? As a, not as a body part. Yes, okay. So we can actually say colon here. Okay, let's try that again. Paths list, types list, number of lines, destination path, date items. Now quickly get the file name, xfiles fcm underscore, item delimiter back to comma, extract the date items, and we have ISO date and a T, and then the time with underscores instead of colons. Okay. It's actually, we should pad it out. I guess we could use the number format for that. And now we're creating a new folder. Let's see, commit folder name is this. Destination folder is this. So we should actually, yeah, we got a new folder. Nice. Put commit folder name and colon into destination folder. Oh no, not into, after. That could have gone badly. Okay. Go back. Created the folder. Yes. And now gluttony. Okay, that's the path to the folder we just created. That sounds good as well. And now we repeat, put line of the path and the types. Okay, we just have the type here. If needs compression. This is a text file, it doesn't need compression. So put that into destination path. How does that look? Yeah, that's our special folder. And yeah, that's not a space. Okay, oh wait. It's the entire path. So again, this is slightly buggy. We need to set the item delimiter again. Okay. And now run this again. Paths, new folder. So line X, okay, path and type, doesn't need compression. And now missing files.h, okay, that's the name of the first item, I think. Now copy file, and I didn't check any errors. Oh. Oh, is copy file an X function, right? Or is copy file? Yeah, it's a function, not a command. Okay. Put copy file, the path destination path, into result. If the result is not empty, then end if. Oh, into copy result. It's a variable, not the result. If copy result is not empty, beep 1, answer copy result, exit mouse up. Okay, so this way, if something goes wrong, we should get an error message. The path, copy the file, copy result, oh, is 0. That's not a very okay, is not 0. They just return the error number. Usually a good HyperCard native code plugin outputs, you know, not just 0, but an actual error message, or at least a couldn't do thing X error number. You know, like mine does. Mine is kind of halfway there, because usually you would translate common error numbers into, you know, strings. So like you would say, oh, this is file not found or something like that. And I was too lazy to do that. And this programmer apparently was one step lazier. Okay, and now let's do it again. Okay, we have 2 folders here that we don't need. Okay. Copy file, 0. Let's see if it actually copied the file. Yes. If I'm missing files, yeah, and that contains the code. So far that works well. Which file is this? X command main C. That can also just be copied. And that one doesn't need compression either. Which one is that?
Uh-oh.
Wait, I haven't yet. Which one is that? All right. Thought we'd already done that file. X command utils.h. Oh, it was X command main, and now X command utils C and X command utils H. That makes sense. Now we should slowly, I think we're the next one. So let's see, the path, yeah, is the stack. So that should need compression to survive being copied to Windows. And now it says open the path with drop stuff. Okay, not yet. It actually compressed it.
Uh-oh.
Put sit after path. And now let's see how our destination path looks. And the path looks like xfile sit. And now we can actually check the hard disk whether it ended up in the right place. We actually have an xfile sit. Okay. Now copy this. And now delete the file again. Ah, crap. Okay, so I think delete file is another lazily written thing. Yeah, it's also an X function. They don't really need, they could just be commands. Put delete file the path into copy result. Not copy, but it's the result of a delete. And now assume that it's probably written the same way. Answer delete result. Okay. But yeah, it seems to have copied the stuff over fine. Now delete the stuffit file again and run this all again. All right. First file, second file, third file, fourth file, those should all copy over straight. And now, yes, it opens drop stuff. We have to click not yet again. Copy file works, and then delete file. Okay. Now I think, yeah, that should be the project. That also gets compressed. And now the last one is what? Oh, a symbol file, which we probably don't even need. Okay. And now let's check our folder. No stray stuffit files. And here only stuffit files. Yes. So we did the first part successfully. We can take one level of folder and copy it over. Yay! Version control. Sort of. Now, of course, the next thing we want to do is actually run this in the folder outside the emulator. That should just work. But, you know, test it. Trust but verify. So, downloads. Okay. Let's run this again. Minus 43. Okay, that doesn't sound good. Let's see who spit that out. Whoops. Something in the drawing code is a bit unhappy here. Or in the layout code. Okay, let's see here. Then answer failed to copy to destination path. And colon copy result. Delete result. Failed to delete temp file. The path. Okay. But let's see what happened in that directory. Downloads. Could be that we have characters xfiles xfcm, that looks good. Missing files.h. And then it got unhappy. Okay. That's the thing, you know, it worked locally.
Uh-oh.
E-downloads xfiles missing files.h -43. What does -43 mean? Go back into Code Warrior. Open our project. I guess X new folder is fine. Go into errors.h -43 file not found. The question is that that
Uh-oh.
was failed to copy to. There's no obvious
dear.
spaces there.
Failed to copy to this PC. 8 downloads. Files XFCN 2021-12-15 T20 0 missing files. H-43.
Let's see what the source file is, but I think it's not that either. How to copy from and the path to destination path. This is something that would be impossible to localize by just replacing strings like you'd usually do.
Uh-oh.
Copy from data, xfiles, xfcn, missing files. Okay.
Rads.
I'm flummoxed. I wonder if it's a bug with the emulator not rescanning the directory fast enough. It's always the second file. And this one contains the files. Can we maybe wait a little? Let's see, wait 3 seconds. Just in case that's enough to make it update.
Uh-oh.
Nope, no difference.
Uh-oh.
Huh. It didn't work either.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Project sit.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it didn't compress the file? Okay, I guess this is a bit weird. It could be that maybe memory is just stomped somehow. So maybe I should just restart and try again for now. Because that's the problem. This classic macOS has one memory space for everything. So that means if one application does something wrong, it can confuse every other application. And since, you know, this is running code that I have just written and it seemed to work, like the native code plugins, I mean, HyperCard itself should be safe. It could be that one of my native code plugins has a memory issue, and that's why after a few times using it, it will just not work anymore. So the question, let's run it here first. I should probably take the weight out. Oh. Okay, I think that worked, yeah. They're a bit mean in that they sometimes swap the buttons. I mean, you know, if you still sold keys for this old version, I would buy a new one, no question asked. By the way, if any of you has, you know, serial numbers of their own that they're willing to sell for old macOS 9 software, let me know. I could use them for some of my stuff here. And, you know, I'd be willing to pay. Although I have to admit, we'll have to find a way to get the money across, which was probably the biggest problem, because I don't really like using PayPal. They're too eager to hold on to your money. Oh, wait. Okay, first, where was the... here, wait 3 seconds. Let's take that out again. Did it copy everything? Yeah. Surprised that it didn't ask. Okay. Okay, and now let's try...
Uh-oh.
Okay, it doesn't work in there. That puts a bit of a speed bump. But here's the thing. You see, I wanted to write my own file copying X command anyway. So I think that's probably what we'll do tomorrow. Just to make sure that it's not this file copying external that has the bug. Also, because I need to do some special behaviors. Like on modern Mac OS, resource forks were actually sometimes kept in the data fork. Was there an extra colon at the end of destination file name?
Uh-oh.
Oh. Maybe that's it. Good point. Good catch there, Tony. Thank you. Extra colon. Let's see if that's just... Oh no, that's probably just... No, that's just here. That's just me. I can probably... That was apparently just how I formatted the error message. So that was not... Sadly not the solution. Wait. That was a good theory. But at least let's run it again. Yeah. So failed to copy from data, X files, XSVN, missing files.
It's
to
not
this
my
PC,
fault.
E
Failed to copy
downloads,
from data,
X
files,
files,
XFCN,
XFCN,
missing
blah blah
files.
blah blah.
H to this
Missing
PC.
files.h. That all looks okay. Wait, but here this is still there. Let's see if maybe just the leftover file is the problem.
Uh-oh.
No, missing files.h. That's even the first one. Data, X files, XFCN. And that's the right? Yeah, data. E downloads. But it did create a missing files.h. I mean, it could just be that the problem is maybe it's setting file attributes on Windows. On a Windows drive. No, it's not actually anything in there. So it doesn't manage to write to the file. Okay, so it can create the file, but cannot write to it. Let's see what happens if we create a new folder. Cheap version control. And now let's select that folder. Just in case there's something special when macOS creates a folder. Whether when it's a Windows system folder.
Uh-oh.
Nope. Cheap version control. X files. Okay. Okay, just so we've tried everything. Let's try drive H.
Uh-oh.
Nope. So it's definitely not a particular special folder, but rather it just doesn't manage to copy. Okay, but that means we can probably deal with you know what? I think I'm going to try to start the file copying external just because it shouldn't be that difficult. Make another one, and now at least you can see it without stuff before me how I did that. So x copy file. And now let's copy that name. Rename the stack. Rename the main file. Rename the project. It'll regenerate the symbol file. All right. Now here, remove that one. Add that one. And project settings, x copy file, unique ID number. Yes, you will relink it. And I think that's all. All right, now go in here. We still need that utility function. I should probably just put that into the Xcommand utils. Turning a file path into something macOS can work with kind of sounds like a common enough thing. Or at least a special files library. Okay, so expected source file path as first parameter. Source path and dest path. Okay. Expected destination file path as second parameter. And now test path. And now we want a third parameter that tells it whether the destination should be data fork. So let's call that to data fork string. Wait, let's do that as start 255 so we can compare it more easily. And then a Boolean to data fork, which is false by default. And now if get int x parameter 255 3 comma to data fork string. So this will get it into the string 255. and return false if there is no such parameter, which leaves it false. And now if there is a parameter, we need to compare it. How do I compare? Wait, not memory, not files. What is that? Let's see. OS utils, I think it's somewhere in there. Equal.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Oh, it's text utils, right? I think tool utils includes text utils. Yes. Already selected from last time. I like that CodeWarrior remembers what you had last selected and where you were last scrolled. Makes navigation fairly easy. Alright, compare string. Equals string. Compare string.
Uh-oh.
No. Equals string.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Ah, come on. Equals string, case sensitive and diacritical sensitive. Okay, that was the function. Okay. So to data fork equals string to data fork string. And now let's do this cool non-standard max specific syntax and say to data fork instead of a boolean, so you can actually read it. Case sensitive false, diacritical sensitive true. Doesn't really make sense to ignore accents or something. Either you write to data fork some way or you don't. Okay. And now oh wait, I think we call it res to data fork. Because of course usually
Uh-oh.
it should not be because usually we should just be copying the data fork. Okay, we don't really have a folder path anymore, so we don't do any of that junk. Or do we? Oh, I think we still need to extract. Oh, we still need to parse the path in this case. Well, that will be fun. Okay, syntax. Xcopy file. Source file. Path. Dest file path. Comma. that's optional. Rise to data fork. All right. So we've now also remembered how this will be called. And here we need the folder path. Oh wait, and this is of course dest path. And now we need to extract the destination path. I hate I hate doing this by hand. I'm so spoiled now to have a string class where you just go, okay, this is the end. And now I have to remember how to do it all in low level C. Okay. Wait, so we don't really want to change the name. So at least what we can do is we can do dest folder path, because we don't want to rename files. This is not a general purpose external command. Dest destination folder path. Okay, and that means we can use the destination folder path but the source, oh, we need to do the same for the source file. Source file name. So let's expand this. Wait, that's the destination. That doesn't want the name. Okay. Let's see. We want that in the prototype and in the implementation. All right, and I think it should be this. New alias, minimal from full path. And now resolve alias. Target. If we have an out file name, then we expect it to be a file. Else we expect it to be a folder. So this should be vrefnum equals target vrefnum, because we just, for a file, we can just take the info. We're doing the special pbget-cat infosync call here because we need not the volume reference number and directory ID of the parent folder with the name of the folder, but actually in the original case that we had, we needed the ID of the directory itself, so we could change the name to point to whatever file is in it, which we were iterating. But in this case, if it's a file, we actually need the parent folder. Okay, and now file name. What is it? Block move from target. The target name to out file name to target name 0 plus 1, because it's a Pascal string. Well, in any case, if it was a C string, we'd also need plus 0 plus 1 for the termination, but in this case 0 is the length, and of course 1 more byte because we need to copy the length and the string in its entirety. Yeah, here, target name plus 1. That's the input. So in this case we just need this. So this should actually work. Not 100% sure, but in theory. Okay, but the nice thing is we don't need to parse the file path now. So we get the destination folder, which is just the vrefnum and dir ID. And now, instead of dir create, we find the files header, and I think it's like fs create or something. Create hcreate could work. pb create sync async create string vrefnum. No, create doesn't work because it only takes a vrefnum. That's the very old thing before folders existed. Dir create hcreate. Yeah, that's hierarchical file system. It's fun what archaeology you can find. Create is for MFS, hcreate is for HFS. Exactly, Tony, yeah. It's kind of fun that I never really used MFS. I started programming with the native Macintosh API after that. Okay, vrefnum, I think. Oh, right, we need a dest vrefnum, dest dir ID. All right. Source path, dest folder path. Ironically, create works also in HFS in the compatibility mode, using work directories with fake directories as vrefnums. Yeah, I think doesn't create basically parse the file path? So if you have colons, because I think that was how MFS actually had folders. Because that's a bizarre detail. As far as I remember, the original Macintosh file system had folders and had, I think, 255 character file names. But the thing is, how they did folders was just that the entire file path was the name of the folder, and they just displayed it differently in Finder or something. I vaguely remember something like that. And or maybe that was a different call? I don't remember. Maybe that was just how they did open. To my knowledge, MFS folders were faked and only visible in Finder, but apps only saw single flat level of files. Yeah, that kind of sounds like what I seem to remember. Well, at least the Finder side. I didn't know that apps... Well, I guess apps at the API level. But I guess Finder and the open panels, right? Both faked folders. I mean, otherwise, that would have been kind of confusing. Okay, so hcreate dest vrefnum dest directory ID and source file name. And the OS type and creator, we're actually going to be really mean and not actually set them, because this is our backup tool, or at least as the first step. If error not no error, then append return value. Where do we have the whole error reporting thing? Here. Error creating destination file. Append return value. Yeah. Okay. The working directory stuff was added to make apps written to run MFS work seamlessly on HFS. Ah, okay. Yeah, I don't remember. I just thought working directory was basically the same as, it is in Unix, where you have the current working directory. And so you can just refer to files by their name and it will take the current folder. I never really used that bit, I think. At least on classic macOS. And on macOS 10, it was basically, well, any part of your application can change the working directory, screwing over another part that relies on it. So don't use it. So that's what I did. Okay, so hcreate. And I guess now we can do hopen. And that's the vrefnum, the dir ID, and the source file name. And the permissions, I think, was something about perm, fsrid perm That sounds good. We don't need more. And short source file descriptor. I think they go negative on error. Or no, maybe not, because they return their separate error. Well, anyway, just have an invalid value there. hopen fs right perm. Yeah. Right perm dest fd. Where is it? Did some quick checking using standard file dialogues in MFS-aware apps on HFS volumes. The operating system opens seamlessly, opens the working directories behind the hood, and returns them as vrefnum name combo. Okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's probably the easiest. You know, how many volumes are you going to have? And so if it's just some special number that encodes the volume and the directory, then that would work. Let's see, vrefnum is a short, and directory ID as well. Well, I guess it could get a little tight if you have lots of, but I guess they just, you know, build a dynamic table or something. It's a workaround. As long as you don't need 32,000 different folders that your app needs to access in one session, I guess you're good. It's always fascinating. Okay, let's see. Close. What was the close call? fs close, I guess. Yeah. Close WD, there it was. I don't think there's an H close. Okay. Source fd and dest fd. And now fr no error opening source file and error creating destination file. As long as it doesn't need to support dates older than year 2000, it will be fine. Exactly. I mean, there is a bit of a difference between, you know, you have old software that you let run on a newer system. The newer system is safe and can do more, but at least the old software can do the stuff it used to be able to do. That sounds, you know, okay. All right. So if I'm opening this, then I need to, and failing at this, I need to fs close the source file. And in both cases, I should probably delete the created file, but let's leave it like that for now. And now Let's see. FS read.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I know I could set it so the search wraps around, but then... Okay.
Uh-oh.
That's interesting. FS read doesn't... PB read. Oh, no. FS read.
Uh-oh.
Read. What is the call called? I thought it was FS read. Yeah. Why didn't it find that? Short refnum, count, and buffer pointer. Equals source fd. And now I need to call inside Macintosh files up again. And I guess, where is it? Here. Okay. FS read. Let's see. You could use the fsRead function to read any number of bytes from an open file. On input, the number of bytes to read. On output, the number of bytes actually read. So I can just say I have, I don't know, 500 bytes, and then call it until it runs out, I guess, till it reads less. Attempts to read the requested number of bytes from the specified file into the specified buffer. The buffer is allocated by year, must be as large as the count parameter. Because the read operation begins at the current mark, you might want to set the mark first by calling the setFpos function. If you try to read past the logical end of file, fsRead reads in all the data to the end of file, moves the mark to the end of file, and returns EOF error. Otherwise, fsRead moves the file mark to the byte following the last byte read, and returns no error. Okay. That's like the most sensible way I would expect a file reading API to behave. So convenient. Okay. So let's see. It's long bytes read and care buffer. I hope 500 bytes isn't, let's go with 512, isn't too much for this old operating system as a buffer. Most files that I'm going to see here will probably fit in their whole. Okay, bytes read equals size of what is it called? Buffer. Okay. Tony says, on system side there is a working directory table for all open working directories, each of type WD, so working director callback rec, I guess, which contains 4 32-bit values. Most important of them being the dir ID and pointer to actually volume control box structure, I think is VCB, as described in File System Manager documentation. Not sure if it's mentioned in other docs. So each opened working directory consumes 32 bytes of memory, and one of the negative vrefnum indices from range 32767 to minus 496. Ooh, details. Big details. Alright. So, now we have to do a loop. So let's make a do while loop so that we do at least one read. And then at the end check while error not EOF error, which the documentation... Oh, I'm still showing you inside Macintosh. I'm sorry. Tell me. Oh, and now it noticed your message because I'm back on the real scene. Okay, so I'm doing a do while loop here. I've declared a bytes read and a buffer variable. The buffer is 512 bytes. So now I'm always telling it, you know, read as much as will fit into the buffer. Then I call fsRead and while error not end of file, because end of file is not really a real error, it's just we're done. And so now if error is not no error, whoops, and error is not EOF error. So that means if it was an actual error and not just us successfully reading, or us just, you know, reading to the end of file and almost being done. Error reading from source, from soy sauce file. I wish I could type. Then we do an error message, and here we can just break instead of return, which means we go out of the loop and it closes the files for us. So cleanup is a little more centralized. Otherwise I'd need to put, like, each of these errors that can occur here would have these lines duplicated, which is annoying. Duplicate as little code as you can. Alright, and now we need to fsWrite, and fsWrite is where I'm just trying to call up the documentation. Again, you can't see this, but okay. It takes the destination file descriptor, of course, and then the bytes to write and the buffer. So basically looks the same as the read call. Just that here there's no F and F error, and if bytes, if the file was actually a multiple of 512 bytes, then we might get a read that has 0 bytes read. I guess. Can we even get in that situation? Usually we should get an EOF error in that case. So I don't think we can actually get in this case after all. So let's not deal with it. I guess I hope it won't be unhappy if you write 0 bytes. Okay, error writing to destination file. Alright, and now that should basically be our file copying code. So all we do at the end is close the files, and we're happy. Of course, we haven't done the resource fork case yet. So res to data fork, and that's the source here. If copy resource to data fork, else open the data fork. But if we're supposed to do that, we need to find out how to open a resource fork. I think that was RF. Open RF is the wrong one. H open RF. And that's basically the same. vrefnum dir id file name permission refnum. Okay, that's nice. So we just write RF here, and otherwise it's exactly the same.
Uh-oh.
Did I typo something? Bracket expected? What? Oh. Unsigned care. No. That just can't be set to null, right? But let's initialize it to 0 just in case. Why do I even put the spaces around there? Ah, the mouse is completely off right now in the emulator. That's weird. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's not folder path. It's whatever the first parameter is, which is source path. Wait. And these need to go right after the source path. If we don't have a first parameter, then it will be unhappy. Let's see what that does. Okay, long to long pointer. Oh, and that actually remembers how much it read. Should we even care about that? If it didn't write all of it? I think it should give us an error code, right? But I guess let's check it anyway. So bytes read and bytes written. Bytes written equals bytes read, because on input the bytes written are how much to read, and then it will tell us if okay, now we need one more error case. If bytes written is not bytes read, then could only write bytes to destination file. And that's bytes written. Okay, could only write that number bytes to destination file. That should be okay. We're reusing the variable. I know that's not pretty. Oh, and the semicolon is missing. Okay, this should technically work. Question is, will it work in fact? Development, res edit, and where is cheap version control? Here. Should probably delete the other externals from these stacks. Okay. X new folder, X copy file. Copy file. Gone. This will be dangerous and exciting. All right. We have our commit code. Now we rewrite it to copy the file with our new native code plugin. So that would be X copy file. The path, and instead of destination path, we just need destination folder, put the result into copy result. If the result is not empty, then okay, that should be all for now. Okay, that doesn't look good. I think I programmed an endless loop. Oh, okay, and I can't really cancel the emulator. Haha. Yeah, the emulator is completely frozen now. And that's the thing. Okay, let's see. Windows. I can't use Command Option Escape because Windows intercepts that shortcut. So all it does is like switch around on Windows. Okay, so I guess I'll use Task Manager and hope that it won't nuke my hard disk, because we don't really have backups. That's why we're doing all of this. Alright, let's start Sheepshaver again and pray. Fingers crossed, holding my thumbs depending on which you subscribe to. This is already looking promising. At least it didn't go to the broken floppy icon. That's the advantage. macOS 9 actually has some memory safety. Weird, I thought Alt Control. Well, the problem is that it's Windows Alt Escape that I'm physically pressing on the keyboard here. So I guess that is some shortcut. I think it switched the application to the background or something. I don't know what it actually does. Okay, that's all from 826. That is Gnosis. Oh, and this PC H2121. That is the pre-crash one. I guess. Yeah, that's pretty close. Okay, how do I open this now that I didn't give it a typing creator? I guess I just open it with ResEdit. Get info on it with ResEdit. This PC H. Don't know if it even contains, doesn't it? 0 bytes and data for it. Okay, I wouldn't even have needed to bother. Okay. Well, it's empty, right? So why do I even... Oh, it probably doesn't even let me change the type. Anyway, so let's look at our copy file external source code again. So let's see, if bytes read equals 0, then break as well. My guess is I vaguely had something in my memory that I needed to handle the 0 case. And I think it might be that inside Macintosh files is actually lying here. That it says it would return EOF error, but maybe it just returns I read 0 bytes. Something like that. Let's say less than equals 0. Let's see what that does. Okay. Again, grab ResEdit, grab our 2 stacks, the X copy file.
Uh-oh.
New folder, copy file, files. I'm just waiting for the moment that I realize that I will have to write my own delete file external as well. I'll have a full collection soon. Okay, just in case, let's see. Set cursor to busy instead of watch. Because that should animate the cursor, except if it's our copy file external. Okay. So now, variable watcher, just check all the values. Destination folder is this PC, H, X files, something 928, yes. And the path is X files, missing files, X. Okay. Looks good. And destination path is that with missing files.h, but that shouldn't be used here. So copy file. That actually looks like it went through. So let's check whether it actually... Oh, I need to reopen that folder. Now it's noticed. And we have a missing files.h. Let's just do a quick get info. 0 bytes. Still not quite, I think, but let's let it run, I guess.
Uh-oh.
Failed to copy from sit to
Alert.
getting folder info from path.
Data. X-Files XFCN. X-Files.
Okay.
Sit to this PC. H. X-Files XFCN.
So that's interesting. So we have the problem as well. We just have a little bit more info. Error getting folder info from path. So, but so that probably means there's really something with the source file or the source path. Get vrefnum and dir ID from path. Getting folder info. So it's the alias. We can't resolve. The alias. Let's see, what is the first parameter? Maybe I just did something wrong. From file is just the relative. Huh. Yeah, I have no clue. So we only know now, since we have source code now, I created an alias from that path. And that seems to have been successful. But resolving it doesn't work. Oh wait, but we don't know yet. Let's see. Let's check for which file it fails. If not out file name, because it might not be folder info, it might be the file. It's folder info is maybe a bad getting folder. Let's just say ID, that kind of means something. And then file ID from path. Oh wait, let's say, well, that sounds fine. Because this should mean we could at least see if that's the source of destination file that is failing to resolve here. And that's the folder ID, and that just copies that stuff, so should be fine. All right. Delete that folder again. Close that window. Copy file. Cheap version control. Copy the new version.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Failed to delete temp file. What?
It's not my fault. Failed to delete temp file data. Xfiles xfcn. Xfiles. Sit.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
It's an error 0. That's a little weird. Did I edit the wrong error reporting? Xcopy file, copy result. If copy result is not 0. Oh, copy result, not delete result. Ha! I wouldn't have spotted that copy and paste error. Okay. I guess, where is it? Here is volume H.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, you know what I suspect?
Blast.
It probably just takes too long. So we probably have to wait for stuff it here, or maybe in general. Repeat until there is a file, the path, and repeat. Set cursor to busy. Put waiting for creation of file. The path. So that should write it in the message box, and then hide message box once it's done, or maybe at the very end. That's basically a standard thing. You could use this message box, this interactive console, to output messages. Oh. Still waiting for that file. Data files PRJ. Well, that didn't work. Maybe... Wait, I think answer the programs. Yeah. So let's wait for until stuff name. Put into drop stuff name. Waiting for drop stuff name to quit. Repeat until drop stuff name is not in the programs. Maybe it's just that. I think now it works. We don't have any leftover files here. So now let's open H. Seems to have at least one extra folder. 2141, that was just now. That has all the files in it. That looks promising. All right, now let's get info for all these files. Okay, so the copying still seems... I think they're all empty. Okay, here's the thing. Let's fix our external command, I guess, if we can. It creates the files, so that works. So let's see, send HC message, gparent block, put, what is it? I want the bytes I've read. Well, let's just say, let's just make it a debug print for now. And just say, so that basically will perform Oh wait, I'll have to append it, I guess. I need string manipulation utilities. Wasn't there an append string? Well, I guess I'll find out. So instead of error, it's bytes red. Let's see, text utils. That was in tool utils, I think. Text utils. Append.
Uh-oh.
Okay. I don't know. Do OS utils maybe have?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
No. Compare string, date string, equals string, find script run, blah blah blah. Those are all useful calls, but I just want to append one string to the other. Maybe replace text. But that sounds like, no, that works on a handle. I guess we'll write our own. Let's put it in here. Void append string before, comma, after. In out before and in after. So that's a little bit clearer which one we modify. Oh, I guess we can make this one const. All right, and now if IO before plus IO before 0, the length of the first string, plus IO in after 0. Bigger 255, then let's say newlen equals 0. I don't know. And then newlen equals 255, else newlen is just the sum, because we do have a length limit of 255 characters here. And now we do block move IO before plus 1 plus IO before 0. That's the destination, and in after plus 1. So that's append it. That's take the first. And now we have to find out how to truncate that. So that's truncated len equals in after 0. And now in this case, truncated len equals 255 minus IO before 0. So that means the room that is left. And then truncated len is what we'll actually copy. And then IO before 0 gets set to new len. That should be all that's needed. Let's give it a nice header. And go here. All right, and now find where the heck we were. Wait, we first need a variable to compose this message. So, and here, progress code. Whoops. Then we have a string copying function. At least something like C2P stir.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Go back up. Might be that System 7.5 didn't have that yet. String pointer. No, it only has this one. That's not too fun, but it might work. Or was there like a set string or copy string?
Uh-oh.
Set string. Ah. Oh, that's a string handle. Let's just write our own as well. Append string and what do we call it? C2P string. Const char pointer C string start 255 out string. And now out string 0 equals strlen C string block move from C string to out string +1, comma out string 0. Just so we can only get this wrong once. Len bigger 255, 255, otherwise len. Good now. At least this way we can set up strings more easily. Because we need to reset the string every time we read. Copy C to P string. Progress code. And now let's group these debugging commands a little bit. Send reading append string. And now progress code error string. We have an eclectic mix of Pascal and C strings here. It's horrible. Okay, let's see what that actually outputs if we use it. What is it called? XCMD block, not param block. All right. Quit. I wonder if I forgot to handle errors somewhere. Wait, not X files. X copy file.
Uh-oh.
I can't read what it's actually outputting. Let's see, we don't really need to log all the waiting. So let's comment those out. And maybe then we can read something. Okay, that does nothing. That was an interesting sound from my chair. Doesn't sound too good. Okay, let's see. Send, reading. Oh, not send. Put. That's why it didn't work. It sent a message that it probably didn't understand. Okay. Copy file. Version control. Why didn't anyone tell me I typed nonsense code?
Uh-oh.
Nonsense HyperCard code. Okay, reading seems to work. Let's, just to be sure it's not just a display issue, let me just quickly check where you can see. No, they're all not 0 kilobytes still. Okay, so something with the writing seems to be going wrong. So let's just move this code down. FS write destination, bytes written, buffer. Wrote. Bytes written. I'm so close to something working. It's a bit depressing. All right.
Uh-oh.
It seems to be writing those bytes. Just doesn't seem to show up on disk. Maybe I need set fpos. Let's see. What was the signature of you? I should probably remove some of the dead headers here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, come on. Set fpos refnom pos mode. Okay. And that's the difference between a modern API and an old one, is that you get you don't just get short pause mode in modern API. In modern API, someone makes a type def, so that when you look for the type def, it's right next to the constants that go in it. Here, you have to look in the documentation to know That, for example, fs from start is what you want. Okay. Error seeking source file. Okay. So this should at least... I don't know why we didn't get an error here though. Maybe I should do the return here. Let's just do it. I don't know. It's probably just cargo cult. But maybe I'm misremembering. I mean, there shouldn't be any location where break does something else. I have no switch statement, no inner loop. So this should be equivalent, but who cares? Okay. Build, yes it does.
Uh-oh.
Alright, and now we've copied the external command over again. That looked like okay numbers that are printed there. And we still didn't get any error messages. And let's see, xcopy file. Put the result into copy result. Copy result is not empty. So it should have presented an error message. Let's see. Do any of these... They're all still 0 bytes. So much about file copy code that doesn't copy anything. On the other hand, you know what we can do for now? Let's try to get the old file copying external back, which I think was here. The xfcn actually. Copy file. And rewrite our code back to using that. And see if that helps, because we've now fixed the issue where we weren't waiting. So, copy file. Put copy file, the path, destination path. into copy result. If copy result is not 0. All right, and let's see.
Uh-oh.
Okay, this still fails with -43.
Pay attention. Failed to.
All right. All right, so it's 10, which is actually pretty late. And I didn't take any breaks as well. Bad, Uli. I did get a nice stretch, though. Thank you for that, Redeem. I think I'll just give a bonus stretch. Oh, how time flies. Yes. Especially if you're debugging old code without any live source level debuggers.
Nimm Haltung an, junger Mann!
Yes. I will do the posture check. Oh yeah, hydrate. I think I still have some tea left. Let's just finish that. Thank you. Cheers. Anyway, so we know now that our code in general works. I guess MaxBug doesn't work in this emulator. Yeah, I can't. I don't know if MaxBug would work, but the MetroWorks MetroNub thing either refuses to load or crashes at load. I forget. So I cannot actually debug stuff here. I should probably make another attempt. I think I had it working when I did the Mist reverse engineering and I found those hard disk images again. But I think that was a newer version of Code Warrior. So my X commands might need a bit of a remake for the project files to actually work with that. It might help those problems if it was available. Yeah, definitely. I might look into that for tomorrow. Okay, so one thing I wanted to do is I wanted to see if it's our external in general or if it's the other one, or if it's an issue, whoops, with the folder. So used to a add comments command that works with that comments and uncomments, but the one in HyperCard only comments. Oh, I think there might be uncomment is a different shortcut. Command equals. That's okay. So I sort of remembered that it was possible. I just tried to do it the Code Warrior way. Okay, so let's get that back. Let's go back to our local drive. And now let's see what it did here. Still 0K. Okay, so definitely our external command doesn't correctly copy. That's a good thing to know. If it doesn't work locally, at least it means it's not a bug with this sudo disk that shows me the Windows folder. Anyway. But that's where we'll call it a day for today. I hope you've all had at least a little bit fun. I'm surprised so many of you are still here, or maybe my bot is just showing me a weird viewer count. But yeah, this is kind of old programming. Not a very exciting thing, but a tool I might need for future programming. Which will copy my files into another folder. And we can do some more fancy things with that. And if it wasn't already so late, I think I would try to do something more interesting, maybe something graphical or something, but I don't think we have time for that still. There might be a few bots present. Yeah, I don't know. I think I actually recognize a few names, so at least some people left me a lurk or something, which is appreciated. But anyway, I don't really usually want to look at my viewer list, but now that I have the bot at the side, it actually shows me the full list. Before it was like I saw my bot and myself, and that was maybe it. But anyway, so we'll continue tomorrow, same time, 5 p.m. Let me push this button so you have a vague idea. So the times are right. Of course, it's not Sunday, but not the end of a person, but like the preposition, sentence, introduction, whatever. Anyway, so there will be more streams tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, so the weekdays of this week. Saturday will be no stream, and Sunday, as always, as usual, will be our gaming stream, where we'll be playing Dishonored Death of the Outsider. So if you're interested in that, come by. Again, it starts at 5 p.m. That's 5 hours ago, basically, because now it's 10 p.m. here. If that helps. We do have a Discord. Is it this one? Yeah, there is a Discord link in there. There is a Twitter link in there. There is the YouTube channel if you want to review older streams. We only just started Death of the Outsiders, so you haven't missed much. But if you want to, you can look into last weekend's stream to have everything. But I don't think it's strictly necessary to understand the game. And I'll happily catch you up on what previously happened and what the world is, if you want to ask. Anyway, and on the Discord you can actually see the schedule for this week in your local time. So I've used some special Discord syntax that Ada pointed out to me that actually shows the time in everyone's local time zone. So if you're wondering, that works. Also, I've updated the schedule on Twitch under this video. If you click on schedule, you might have to click my name first. Then you can see that. And now I would appreciate if you could come along for a little raid. Let me just check. I hope I'm not promising too much and there's still people live and streaming. Oh yeah, that's good. Someone who has raided us a number of times. So let's go over there and raid Justice Pirate. She plays Quake Champions right now, a shooter. She does a lot of fun stuff with yeah. She does life coaching. She even does like a little life coaching stream on Sundays, I think. So drop by, say hi. I understand if you can't stay. Sometimes you can't. This stream has already been very long, but check her out. Maybe follow so you can come back later. But say hi so she feels appreciated. Thank you for being here. Hopefully see you tomorrow or on Sunday. And I'll be coding my little heart out again tomorrow. Oh, and I think I have a raid message. So non-subscribers can use the second one. Subscribers, of course, the first.